How's it going, everybody? The link is pinned. Jeff, thanks for joining. Zach's in. Rusted, how you doing, Mitch? If you guys want to jump up on the panel, let's link is posted. As I got feedback happening. Alicia, how's it going? Eric, how you doing? We'll get going here, and hopefully we get some people up on the panel here. I'll do a little bit of panning tonight, and then yeah, I'm gonna stay on for about an hour tonight. It's not gonna be a super long live, but yeah. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. Yeah, we got Culver's in the house. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday evening? Thanks for all the likes on the intro. Took me a while to get that all finalized, and yeah, it took some working to get that going. But yeah, so yeah, like I said earlier, if anybody wants to jump up on the panel, link is posted or pinned in the chat. Um, just jump up whenever you guys want. Zach's my man. He's always coming up on panel. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, smash that like button. Jeff, if you want to jump up, man, you're more than welcome. Hopefully we get PA, I think, is hopefully coming by. Mitch, are you coming up? Alicia, you can come up if you want, unless you're camera shy. That's okay too. But we get the pan cam going, and we'll start doing some panning. If you guys got questions or anything, we've got the chat going on my other screen, so I can still see what you guys are talking about. Just want to thank you guys for coming to my channel. It's my live tonight anyways. Sorry, I'm getting a feedback here. Just give me a sec. We'll just do that, and then there's no feedback. Oh, wait. Talk about technical difficulties. Zach, how's it going?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Remy is in the house. Awesome.
Yeah, I just saw Remy come in.
Yeah, how's it going, Remy? Hit that get up on panel, Remy. If you want, of course. No pressure.
So what are you up to, Travis? Same old stuff?
Same old stuff, man. Work. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Same thing, man. Working for money you never see.
Sounds good, Remy. I'll watch for you in the backstage.
Yeah, we really twisted Remy's arm there.
Yeah, that was a hard twist, that one.
Oh yeah. Hey, Rusted, how much longer you guys got of your harvest season? I know you were pulling like 12-hour days.
12 hours a day. Wow. I haven't done 12-hour days in a while.
Russ has been working himself to death. Oh, he says like year round.
Year round. Nice.
Nice to have work, but not those hours.
But I think Russ is going to have to take some time off and come to the East Kootenays in BC.
That won't be till next spring.
Yeah.
You guys are getting ready to freeze over, so
Yeah, we are.
You can't work it during the winter, right?
No. Everything's frozen. Ground's frozen. Air's pretty much frozen.
Air's frozen.
We got snow in the forecast 5 days from now, so it's coming.
Yeah. Pros and cons.
I got lots of material for winter time, so I'm good. Worst comes worst, I'll go to Home Depot and get some sand.
Pretty much.
Right. Or I'll have to start buying some pay dirt. That's right, Rusty. Gold Creek. That's where we're going, man. I don't know. Zach, is that for the raffle or is that for the benefit on the 8th?
That is just one of Wrench's updates on them.
Okay.
That's the most comprehensive video he's made, so that's the one I use.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Thanks for posting that. Mitch, get up on the panel, man. What did you look up? Did you look up where Gold Creek is? A3 Skyward, how are you doing, man? Thanks for joining my live.
Hello, A3. Yeah, I just linked that raffle when I can try and get it out there a little bit in case somebody doesn't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It depends on the chats. You know, if everybody in chat knows about it, there's no real point in linking anything. You're just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna. So that is the link to the actual live for the benefit.
No, that's the link to the last live that Wrench did, explaining it well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or explaining it better.
Oh no, the link I just sent put up is for the actual day, October 8th.
Yeah. I don't use that one because that's the actual raffle, that doesn't explain how people can get into the raffle.
Okay.
The one I put up tells people how they can get in if they want to get in.
Which is needed info. Yeah, I appreciate it. Remy.
Yeah, PA Patriot did a good shout out of it with all the information, but it's hard to share a YouTube short. It's not nearly as easy to share a YouTube short.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not a short, a community post. It's not nearly as easy to share a community post for me.
No. Remy, what's up,
Yo.
man?
Hey, just kicking it,
Kicking it. Nice.
chilling. Did some gardening outside. Pulled some strawberry plants in to keep them alive for the winter time. Some everbearings.
Nice.
Took the cucumber plants out. They're done for the year. Getting ready to do the peppers to have them re-wintered so I can redo those next year.
Nice.
They're fucking chest high right now.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, they're going to be big next year, bud. Probably 6 foot, maybe.
Wow.
I'm expecting 6 foot. I'm going to put them in a big pot and hit them with some juice.
Nice. Somebody's got a green thumb, hey? And a gold thumb.
A mechanic thumb. It's greasy, green, gold. Depends on what day of the week it is.
Nice. Right on.
Sometimes it stinks. Just depends on if I itch my ass or not.
Hi.
So how's your guys' weeks going so far?
Oh, slow.
Mine's all right.
Hey, 3 Sky Warrior, what's up?
Yeah, we don't ever really get slow. Or we don't get slow that often for what I'm doing, so I just stay busy.
You usually have some good weather down there anyways most of the year, don't you?
I'll be right back, guys. I need some yawn.
It's nothing like what you guys get.
Ugh.
We don't get feet of snow or anything like that. It's always decent.
What's up, James? Yeah, we get freaking sometimes it's weird these days. So with how much water we had this year in Vermont and all the flooding, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get hit really hard this winter. I just have that mountain man feeling, bud. It's gonna be a bad winter.
They're claiming El Nino real bad, which is supposed to affect the entire country. I think for you guys that just means extra cold and miserable.
I ain't buying their bullshit.
All right.
I look west and I look over the mountain ridge. Whatever's coming is what I judge weather by.
Exactly.
Whatever works for you.
Well, they're never right around here. She'll look at the weather and I'll just be like, nah, look west. Tell me what it looks like.
James Culver's in the house. How's it going, James?
Yeah, Culver's in and out. A3 Sky Warrior's back to work.
He's back to work?
He was chatting a lot, so he was probably on his break, but A3 works weekday evenings.
Oh.
That's why he can never hang around chatter. He's always says he's hiding or work bad or something like that. He has to sneak his attendance in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you being here, A3.
I got is it all right to talk about the pay dirt giveaway that I'm doing on my page? Well, not really
Yeah,
giveaway,
yeah.
but the Huck situation. Yeah, I've got that PayPal, or not PayPal. Sorry, guys. Cash App is all set up now. So it's just $ Whipple Creek Racing, all lowercase letters, $5 per entry or $20 per 5. And that gets you the gold dirt that has been put together this end of the year.
Nice.
So I'll be putting that bag together on a video so everybody sees it being sealed up with the contents in it and whatnot.
And when are
But
you
it is,
doing that? Huck?
I'm going to start on the 1st. I'll start taking all of that stuff on the 1st. I was waiting to like let you guys get all situated with James's situation. I didn't want to overlap too hard on you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever I can make up, I'll send over to him as well.
Nice. Well, you can't ship Canadian to Canada, or how's that working?
I mean, I know I got a lot of you guys in different countries. I mean, 80% of my viewers pretty much are in Australia. So, I mean, I don't want to like discourage people from out of the country from not like wanting to be a part of it, but I can't afford the shipping to ship out of state or out of country. So, I mean, if
What if you
anybody
left-
wants, I mean, if they want to go that route, we can work around that if they want to pay the shipping if they win. You know what I mean? We can do
I was
that
just gonna
too.
say, what if you get them to pay the shipping, maybe?
Right.
Or
I don't
pay
want to
that
hit
off?
them with all of the shipping though. So if it goes decent, I'll be able to take care of some of the shipping for them, so they're not so hard up.
Yeah.
What a lot of people do, Remy, is on the gold pay dirts that for the winners across overseas or whatever, they just pan it and ship them the gold.
That's what I've been seeing. Yeah, that's a good point. I've noticed some other guys over in Australia that aren't able to get their pay dirt, but I think kind of like the whole point of getting the pay dirt from here is panning the minerals that we have here.
Yeah, I heard Australia is a little bit of a prick about getting dirt in there.
It is. It is.
Out.
My buddy Pirate Pete over there, I sent him gold in a vial and I had no issues.
Yeah.
Just the one that was in dirt? Is that when you ran into issues?
No,
yeah,
I never. Oh, sorry.
Australia doesn't like dirt shipped in or out.
Oh, okay.
You can do it, but it's a huge pain in the ass, and it goes through customs, and there's always the risk of losing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, versus somebody can just tape the gold to a card and send that right over easy as can be. But for whatever reason, Australia is real finicky about dirt in or out.
It's also not very smart to mark on it gold or whatnot if there's, put like specimen gold piece or something like that and put a really small value on it so it keeps people from prying eyes and urges to get into your package.
Yeah. Rockfetcher was saying put mine samples or something like that. Anything you can discourage for the gold, because even Miller Prospecting will tell you when he does ship overseas, if he puts gold anywhere on the packages, it never gets there.
Right.
They just steal it.
Yeah, there's sticky fingers outside the United States border that we have no control of. So that's how my opal came in. It was just opal samples is all it said, $30 value. You know what I mean? That's keeps people from wanting to pry into it.
Yeah.
It was smart on his end. I laughed when I seen the package. $30? Yeah, right, bud.
Right, for opal? Yeah. That's some nice stuff. I love opal.
I wish you could see it in person, dude.
Is it black opal or what?
I have 4 specimens from different mines all over Australia. So I have 2 black opal pieces from Lightning Ridge. I have Boulder opal in reds, green, yellows. Wow. I think there's a little bit of blues in that one as well. And that's Boulder opal from Quilpie over in Queensland, Australia. And then I have a white crystal opal with reds in it, and that's from Coober Pedy.
Yeah, they got good stuff over there.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Lucky bastards.
Do you have any that you can show on camera?
Not on 760, but it's completely worthless. If you guys want to see any of the better pictures I have, you can go over to my community tab on my YouTube, and I have some pictures of them actually in the water. So you guys can see that. That's about as best I can do unless you're in person.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's literally no justifying how pretty those things are unless you have it wet out of a glass of water and you're looking at it in the sunshine yourself. It's just a whole different thing.
Yeah, cameras never do any of them justice.
Mm-mm. The matrix changes.
Well, they're not to the point of where not only your camera's not as good as the human eye, but your resolution on your computer screens isn't as good as the human eye. And then top that off with the little tips and tilts that you do when you're examining something. There's nothing comparable to seeing it in person.
Mm-mm. No, the one thing I found out about opal I did not know was that the color is generated by the structure of the silica inside the crystal. So if they're organized really evenly in like a honeycomb fashion, real tight and square and even, it actually refracts light. So the size of the silica inside it that's stacked up depends on the color it'll refract as light goes through the opalized crystal. So red is a very hard color to find, and it's very, very sought after. So red is the biggest structures of silica in the inside of it. That creates red, which is actually one of the most prestige colors to look for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I always thought the blacks was the most desirable.
Well, black is the most valuable, but it's because the black opal that is the most valuable is fire and ice. Now that has a spectrum from red all the way down to the smallest silica structures of blue. So it's got the whole color spectrum shown through it. That's the fire and ice, and they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Wow. See, we got a mountain with some opal in it around here, but it's just plain.
It's pot.
Milky white common opal.
Yeah.
There's no significant value to it.
Yeah, that's just pot.
Even at that, I could never find a big chunky specimen. I think that mountain was mined at one point in time, but they've closed it. It's collapsed, or they've blown it closed, one of the two. So you can't get in there at the moment. But I don't see a tailings pile that would justify major workings there.
We'll go through at night with a little black light, bud. Check for potch. I mean, it might be potch, it might not, but if you can bring a regular flashlight with your black light, you can black light the ground. If you can find pieces of potch or whatever, it might lead you to a vein. But if you're looking with the black light and you get a little peek out of that glow, you can switch over to the other light after picking the specimen up and see if there's actually opalized color structure inside the crystal.
Yeah, going out there at night is a multi-person event.
yeah, you don't want to go out at night, man. The little critters are all trying to move around and stay warm.
Yeah,
hell, I don't care about the critters. Something happens out there, and you're alone in the middle of the night. You're in a bad way.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Dude. The wild animals. We got a couple bobcat stuff like here. Not too much. The wild animals don't bother me nearly as much as the roving domestic dog packs.
Mm-hmm.
Those fuckers are mean.
Yeah, but they will actually chase you right down. Coy dogs are not coyotes. Like, that's what we call coy dogs around here. They're wild dogs.
I know. That's why I don't fuck with them.
Yeah, dude, I've had them. I've been on a deer hunt with my father in Fort Ann, New York, and we were on my uncle's property, and we seen 3 fields over with our binocs. We were watching. We could hear yotes coming, and we're like, what the heck is that? And then we looked over the binoculars in our scope 3 fields over where there's a pack of coy dogs coming our darn way. They weren't happy we were up in their area. They were coming to investigate, so we got right the heck out of there.
Yeah, me and a former friend of mine, we got
You're welcome, Alicia.
We got ourselves broke down in the desert, and we walked out of that same area a couple miles closer to civilization from it. We wound up walking about 4 miles out of that area in the middle of the night. Keep your rocks in your hands.
You racist?
That was the only defense. That was the only defense we had, and you better be able to use it.
Yeah.
What, you guys got strict pistol laws or something?
We didn't have any of that then.
Oh,
We were broke down in the middle of the desert. We had to walk out.
oh shit. I remember being out one time hunting at night. We were going out for coyotes. Me and my cousin split off from my dad, and we went to go 2 different directions on our property. We were going to drive to him, and he was going to sit up on the other end of the property. Well, we walked down the road, and about a mile down, you start hearing dogs barking probably 10 feet inside the hedgerow. It's pitch dark. We've got these little headlights like this, shotguns in tow. We're walking along with our snowshoes on, and I'm telling you, there's a good foot or 2 on the snow up in the mountains, up in the Adirondacks in New York.
Yeah.
And we're walking along. He radios to my dad. He says, "Hey, man, there's a bunch of coyotes not even 10 feet on the other side of this hedgerow, and they do not sound happy." And they were back and forth. He started laughing as he radioed back. He says, "How fast can you climb a tree with snowshoes?"
It's a valid point.
Yeah. So they were the good ones with the cleats. I'm sure he'd make do.
Oh yeah. If they had cleats, he'd make it.
He's going to tread bark, bud. I was laughing at him. I was probably 12, 13 years old. I've been used to hunting up there. We went back out the next day about lunchtime and went over where we heard them that night. Sure enough, they had a kill over there 20, 30 yards off the side of the road. We walked up on them when they were on a kill.
Jeff says he always holsters a 45 single action in those situations.
Yeah, I got a 45 6-shooter.
That's a nice gun.
It's all right, man. It's just a little black powder pew pew, a little pellet gun.
Can't have any handguns up in Canada.
Oh, it's not considered a rifle here. It's not even considered a firearm, bud.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Black powder is different regulations in the U.S.
Well, yes and no. So even though it is black powder, it's not considered a firearm, period.
I know.
It's before 18. Oh, shoot. The Munitions Act of 1960 something. Like they had made antique firearms and stuff like that not considered firearms by the federal law.
Yeah.
So if you're in a state that coincides with that, you can have, like, I'm not gonna lie, dude, like it's not considered a firearm. They're easy to get here. You can just order them, bud. They'll show up to your freaking PO box.
The troll sheriff is in town, so there you go.
I couldn't resist, man. I was taking care of Liv, which she'll be right back at it here in a minute. I heard black powder and 45 stuff. I had to get up here.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, I got an 1860 Colt Army snub nose.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
So here's
I can put all 6 in a 6-inch circle at 20 yards away with that short fucker.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
See,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So here's one I guarantee the most of you guys hadn't heard of. Back when the pilots were flying the U-2s and like the very beginning of the SR-71s and their bailout kits,
yeah.
they actually had an all aluminum 6-shot pistol and 1 box of ammo in their bailout kits. Super ridiculously hard to find.
I imagine so.
But a 100% aluminum gun, aluminum barrel, aluminum this, aluminum that, and it was just a well-known fact. That's your last defense.
Yeah, they got some of those Alaskan survival guns. They pack right up in your stock, and then you can pull the end cap of the stock off your barrel and the bolt and everything, and come right out. You slap it right together. You got yourself a single shot survival rifle, and they're really small too.
I've seen.
Yeah, that's the Alaskan survival gun.
Huh.
Man, you're talking my language. And not that I'm any kind of prepper or anything, but I have minimal stuff put together for emergency. Like
You
right
should.
here,
You're smart to do that, bud.
You have to.
These days, yes, sir.
fucking food and shit for a week. I keep my Kimber 1911 and a bunch of stuff ready to go in that. But hey, I wanted to mention on those black powders here in America, man, there's a company called Panetta. You can go online.
That's where I got mine.
So check it out. They don't do background checks or nothing on those. Those things they'll ship at 250, $300, whatever they are now, depending on what you want. I've got an 1859 Navy. I've got an Army, and I'm thinking about getting. It was a hog leg. It's like one of the biggest pistols or revolvers ever made. It's called a Walker. It's like a 1944 or 45 Walker. I forget all the specs on it. It's been so long since I looked at it, but it's a hog of a gun. It's a black powder. But those black powders, I just ordered them. They sent them here, no questions asked. They send it right to you.
Well, I didn't go through Payetta. I actually went through. So that's the best reproduction company that people should look into before going to any of the other ones. But the people who supply them with their firearms are Taylor's Firearms. So I have their pamphlet and all of the guns that those guys get, all the replicas and stuff, they get from Taylor's Firearm Company. So I've actually purchased my 45. Well, they calibrate in 44, but it's actually a 451, 452 slugs you can throw in there. I run a round ball 451 in that. So, I mean, it's good up to 20 yards. That was right to the mailbox, bud. And that's no background check, no nothing. And I'm not trying to get people to do anything illegal. If they're not supposed to have guns, don't freaking go get something.
Oh, exactly right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not advocating anybody do that for.
No, me either. But black powder, they don't consider. Black powder is not considered. What's the right term I'm looking for? They just don't consider it a typical firearm.
If depending on your state. So I'm originally from New York. New York changed their laws and regulations to anything with an explosive charge to fire a projectile is considered firearm in New York State. Now that includes black powder.
I got a good one for you guys. Stupid California just passed another law. It's actually a tax. They're adding another 11% tax on firearms and ammunition effective the first of the year. On top of the 10 to 11% federally, now California is going to have a 10 or 11% tax on top of that.
Oh, and guess what else they did? I just read it today, or it's going to the House.
Well,
They want to ban classic cars, or limit them. Yeah, classic cars because of their emissions and stuff. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
I didn't read that one yet.
Man,
I'm a race car guy, so like
me too.
I've been like, it was a childhood dream of mine to become a racer, you know what I mean? So growing up, everybody was like, hey, you know how the kids would get asked, hey, what did you want to do for a living? I would tell them, I want to be a race car driver, and people would freaking shoot me down as a kid and completely blew my bubble when I was young. It took me until I was 30 something years old to be like, F this. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it because I want to. And then when I started to, it was like, I just got a lot of fans and stuff started following me. I was like, hey, dude, like, it's not for me anymore either. It's for the kids. It's for everybody that watches me doing it. And anybody who's had drug addiction problems or gang issues or whatnot, they can look at me and see that, they can turn around and do something different.
Yeah.
You just got to be driven. It's not a motivation thing. It's a driven thing. Like, there's no other choice.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. I got a little deal I do with the cars. I'm like you. I wanted to race cars or be a pro quarterback or something. I never did. But I got a Scat Pack wide body, a 2021 Scat Pack wide body that I take out to Kansas to a road course. You pay $180 and they'll let you take it out on that 2.5 mile road course and drive the tires off your street car. And so I do, and it's like racing, man, because there's other cars out there with you, and you got to pass them. You know what I mean? If they're slower than you, they give you a wave around. They hit it and go. So it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, the only reason I brought that up, I had a brain fart when we were talking, but I mean, the reason I brought that up is because the whole entire car thing got brought up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just our cars on the streets, guys. This is Biden trying to push EV vehicles, completely phase them out for whatever benefit. I don't know. All I know is that we have Tesla being sponsored by the government, doing space programs and whatnot for them. And all of a sudden he's pushing Teslas. And what is the biggest number one EV car out on the streets? Teslas. And then you hear Biden talking about wanting to push EVs and make gas cars illegal altogether. I've got into racing now, and I'm watching all of this happen. And all of these tracks that I've wanted to go to my whole entire life and dreamed of going to are now getting shut down, one after the other after the other. And it freaking makes me sad, dude. I start crying about it because they're taking away this is the only thing that we have that we could go do this without getting in trouble doing it on the streets like I used to when I was a kid.
Right. That's why I do it that way.
I can't freaking do that no more. So to keep it safe, you got to go on the tracks. And with them shutting them down left and right, it's causing more of a street racing scene, and it's causing problems, and they know it is.
We know that well here in the Midwest. This was the last year we just got a notice in the mail at Heartland Park. They shut down the drag strip. No more.
You're talking about which one?
Heartland Park, Topeka. The drag.
Vandermeer is getting shut down too, or it's already shut down now too.
That's on the big circuit. That's where a lot of them big dogs race every summer. It's over. They're keeping the road course open for us to do track night like I do as an amateur, but the drag strip closed. Hey, Janet, PA Patriots here.
Yeah. We got Gold Eagle and PA are in the house.
Travis, what do you got in that pan?
So this is stuff from my gold claim in BC.
What's up, PA? Hope your travels were good, buddy.
I think he said he's already going back out again next weekend.
Yeah, he's using his dredge.
Any of you guys see the news over in PA's town last night? That was crazy.
What happened? I missed out on it.
Hello, Wrench. I guess a bunch of kids went on a looting mission and looted a bunch of stores.
At PA's town?
Have a good night, Wrench.
Philadelphia.
What's up, Wrench? Have a good night, brother.
I know PA's tired of it, man. They're getting crazy out there too.
Next week, PA. No worries.
And the sad thing is people who are woke and don't understand it's going to get fucking worse, dude.
That's why I keep storage of two of the most important things you can keep storage and gather right now, and that's ammunition and water.
Seeds.
Oh, I'm getting
seeds. Yeah.
Don't forget seeds, guys.
Water, ammo. There's a few things you gotta have, man. That takes care of it. Seeds.
Yeah, I got all sorts of fruits and veggies I've been stashing up. I mean, we grow them and we, utilize what we can through the year, but I'm not trying to grow huge crops on the yard right now. I bought that surplus of seeds to keep tucked away just in case. You know what I mean?
That PA said Philly is a shit show. Its inhabitants are freaking animals. I saw a special on called Kensington Avenue. I think it was 2020 or Dateline.
Yeah.
Woo! Shit.
Yeah, it's been bad down there for quite a long time. Philly's pretty rough, bud. First time I ever went down there, and it reminded me of going to New York City, bro, down in the slums. So
I'm from the Midwest. I've only been in New York City and Philly one time. I was in the Army in the 80s at Fort Dix, and on our weekend pass, we'd go to Philly or New York or somewhere. Man, it was some places. And from the Midwest, that was more than I'd ever seen in my life.
When I went down south, I learned exactly how bad our country is off. Like a lot of people don't travel, you know what I mean? Like it's the reality of it. People can't afford to travel most of the time. So there's a lot of people who just can't travel. And I was one of them. When I packed up, went to Georgia and then went down to Alabama, down to Mobile, went down there, like I could not believe the amount of poverty, homelessness underneath the bridges. Like
Yeah.
you see that on TV and like on like movies, the poverty and stuff, and you think like that's like just in the movies, bud. But when you start driving past the Dixie line and you get down south and you get past the Mason Dixie and you're
Oh
in
yeah,
Dixie line,
I've
it's
been.
the highways are covered in broken down cars with bags in their windows. There's packs of homeless people underneath the interstate bridges, like right out in the open, bud. It's like they're not hiding about it. The cops aren't doing nothing about it. I mean, what can they do? The amount of packs of people that they have, the size of these groups of people that are living out there, it's impossible for them to do anything.
406. Brother.
Yeah, Gold Eagle said he was born in BX. Yeah,
Oh,
I got a bunch of buddies down there.
Born and grew up in the Bronx. Wow.
Yeah.
406 Miner is in the house. How's it going, Stacy?
Gold
So-
Eagle, how old are you? Can I ask? You might have grew up in the Bronx, man, through the 70s and 80s when it was probably, not to say it ain't crazy now, but man, there's a lot of history. I've seen a lot of History Channel stuff on
It's the crack epidemic time.
that part. Yeah, that part of New York back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, the New York's all on the heroin fucking crap. That and the fentanyl now. That's the biggest problem out on the streets is fentanyl and heroin. It's a
Oh, he's
big problem.
67. He's older than I am, man. So yeah, you remember the days of the old school. He knows it well what I'm talking about. I've just seen the documentaries of what it was like growing up in that part. You know, and you've seen those movies. How many gangster movies have we all watched in our life where it's based in the 70s or 80s in the Bronx and shit? That's what you think of. That's
Dude,
what I.
you know what, dude. Listen, I'm laughing my ass over here because you guys are finally bringing this up. No, this is what I told her. She's from Michigan, right? She
Yeah.
doesn't understand what New York be like down there. I've been in the New York State prison system, right? So I've lived in the northern zone of New York where it's mountains, and then I've been in the city ghetto areas of New York. You know what I mean? Bronx, Yonkers, Long Island.
Right.
Dude, those places there, they are ghetto as shit. So those gang members and stuff that are hanging out in there, they funnel off into the New York system, prison systems. So then when I went and did my time, I had some of the craziest like gangsters, like legit read their foils and stuff. Like,
Damn.
have any of you guys ever heard of back in New York? They had this gang called the Shower Posse. It was a Jamaican drug cartel, a big one at that. They got the nickname.
All the
Yeah,
time.
that was back in the 80s as well. So if you check into the Shower Posse, dude, one of their big uptime like officers was my freaking bunkie. We used to chop it up and make dinner and shit together. Yeah, dude, I read his foil and everything. Man, that guy is in there for like some serious shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna blow the guy's foil up, but dude, I was like, no way, man. He's like, you know, this chill old guy. You know what I mean? And like, as soon as I like started talking to him and shit, he started showing me his foil after like getting to know each other for a couple days, just watching each other move and stuff. And he shows me his foil. He's like, listen, I wasn't really gonna tell you anything, but I just figured, you know, you listen to some of the guys' music that I fuck with out on the street. And I was like, oh shit. So he was pretty cool. But the Shower Posse was given that name because they would literally shower lead at like police in broad daylight, dude, with like tons of people around and stuff. Like, they did not care. Though that's the kind of people that are in New York State prison system. There's really real gangsters in there, guys.
I'm sure. 406 Miner, you should come up here, man. I gotta ask. So he got a package today, 15 pounds of Cape Disappoint. That's got to be a joke, or he's making a funny there. Cape
Oh
Discipline.
no, he sent me a text message he showed me the bags through text message. Yeah, Stacy, if you want to jump up.
Cape Disappoint. What's that mean though? Is that a joke or a play on words or is actual place?
Just a lot of I think black sand.
Oh,
just black
disappoint.
sand.
Okay. Charcoal black sand. I'm seeing
Yeah.
it. That ought to be fun. Did a handful, found 2 specks.
I
Not
don't
as
know if
bad
you
as
guys can see. Can you see the pan there? Can you see the gold up there?
You see some gold? Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, this is a good pan.
You're BC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. So I didn't hear earlier. Have you got your first snow yet?
About 5 days we'll have her. It's in the forecast anyway, so I don't know if I trust that, but
Right around first part of October. You've had it earlier than that. You've had it by now, haven't you? Years
oh,
or
shit, we've had snow in the middle of summer, crying out loud.
That would fuck me up, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
guys actually have summer? Shit.
Yeah. What the fuck summer?
I thought you guys didn't have that up there. I mean, come on now.
We just live in igloos all year round, man.
It goes from like winter to like spring and then back to fall and winter.
Yeah.
Hey, James Culver said that black sand will work good on your mats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, summer won't let go here in Missouri, man. We're getting ready to get in October. The 9-day forecast is 85 to 90.
Oh, that's nice.
But it is desert weather time. There's no more humidity and it's clear skies, so that heat leaves right away and it gets, cool like the desert in the 50s at night. Just from like noon till 6, it's 90 degrees and then it cools right off. It's a trip. See you, PA.
Have a good night, PA.
Later, PA. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I gotta shut visuals off for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just trying to get all this crap out. There's a lot of gold in here.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. You should know, brother.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I've got a mouth in the background here.
I'm here. I'm eating, and I don't do that on camera. I
appreciate you guys coming up. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that whole eating on camera bit, I don't like doing that myself either. If I want to be a pig, I'm going to do it by myself.
Exactly.
Stop staring at me.
Holy crap.
So what do you see? And is that a chunk or a little piece of gold there on the right? Or oh yeah, hey, that's awesome, dude.
You see all that?
I can see
Little
some
plates
gold
in
there.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's quite a bit. Those are big ones too.
So what were you saying? You only have so long. I know you said that you got snow in the forecast, but at a certain point, it's going to get so frozen you can't dig anything, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, by like mid-November or even the beginning of November, the ground will be frozen probably 4 or 5 feet down.
Woo!
But you get some thick permafrost up there then. Well, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
perma though, is it?
No, it's just frost, but yeah. We're supposed to get frost tonight. So
Do you have a problem with thermofrost getting down there under a little bit?
yeah, and
If
then
you're strip mining, yeah.
yeah, and in the residential areas it hits the pipes and then the pipes burst and
Whew.
yeah.
I'm glad we don't have that.
That's why we've got like emergency. Every town's got like trailers that are emergency water stations.
Right.
Every town's got these trailers that are emergency water stations. So,
Remy, you get brutal winters too, don't you?
Well, I mean, if you call them brutal, I'm kind of a freaking bear, dude. I'll stand out there 10 hours in a blizzard chasing coyotes. It don't bother me.
Well, that's fun shit. What are you chasing them with? What do you use?
Yeah, what just started making that noise, man. You send the hounds after them, bud. I tell you, you get the numbers in.
You just heard my hounds, eh?
Yeah, I heard him. He barked up after I mentioned coyotes.
Yeah,
Mine are sleeping.
there it is, boys.
Swamp Dog. What's up, Swamp Dog?
Swamp
James,
Dog, how's it going?
fuck that, man. I want some fall. I'm not ready for 30 degrees last night. Fuck that.
I'm trying to get to the track one more time before the end of the year. I got to strip my bike down and get it painted this winter, and I'm not feeling like not getting one more time in. Wednesday night, Test and Tunes just shut down tonight. That's the last night for Wednesday, or the Test and Tune nighttime on Wednesdays for this year.
Gotcha.
So I got a gear ratio change I got to go try out for the end of the year.
So what do you race and what type of course?
Oh, I drag race, bud.
Drag race? Drag
Quarter
race?
mile.
Yep.
On a bike, or right?
Yeah, I built it myself.
Cool.
Nice.
It's
What time did you get out of getting some good times out of it?
it's a turd right now. 406. We don't use no calls, bud. We just sick the hounds on them.
Right.
They just stand in the way. That's all.
Just stand in the way.
Yeah, for real, dude. The yotes will run you right over, bro. I've had 2-3 of them run right up, almost freaking jump on my lap before. No. Well, I have a 1980 Suzuki GS 250. It's a 2-year only bike. I did not know that when I got it, and I got it for like stupid cheap. It was just a rolling frame with the engine and trans in it, and less than 2,000 original miles on it, right? Stripped all apart. Some younger kid went to turn it into something, and he never got into it. Went to the military, so his parents made him sell it. It was barned its whole entire life, so I took it.
Oh, wow.
Stretched it 1 foot, then put a Polaris snowmobile engine and drivetrain in it. And I put some street tires on it and skinny on the front and a tire from Drag Specialties on the back. I got too tall of a gear ratio right now, so I ran. Last time I was out, I had a clutch change. I launched at 7,600 RPM.
Damn.
And I'm doing a quarter mile in about 95 mile an hour at 1360, 1350. And it's a bit of a turd right now with the too tall of a gear ratio on there. It was smoking the belt. So I got another gear ratio for it. I'm dropping. So I've got a 15 tooth on the front right now, and I'm dropping to a 10 tooth on the front. Should have plenty more grunt.
Shorten that up.
Look at that.
So there you go. That's awesome, dude.
That's a lot of color for one pan, boys.
Right on, Trav. That's kick ass.
That's very cool.
Real nice.
That's sweet. All right, stop teasing me, man. I ain't got no dirt right now.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. This is a gold mining channel. I get it.
You need some gold porn for tonight. That's
Yeah.
Sounds like Culver got some stinky. Rent sent him a bag of sand, his tails. He's seen him pan it pretty buzzed. But Culver made this comment, I washed it really good today and set it in the sun. Seems not to smell no more. Man, I got a bag of tailings from Big Texas from that New Mexico dirt. Man, it smelled like cat piss, like mountain lion piss when I got to panning that.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit, man. Woo!
But you know what? That stuff has probably got lots of gold in it. If you got that smell in it. Because whenever I get that smell, I always get good gold.
I didn't pay. I'll have to pay attention.
That asbestos makes a really stinky ass smell in the dirt too. We've got natural occurring asbestos in the ground up here in Vermont, and wow. Yeah. So you'll get like this. If I remember correctly, the geologist there, if I remember exactly what he said, was that if you're in that like grayish, murky kind of clayish type shit, and it starts smelling real stinky, like somebody shit their pants in your hole, like. You're most likely in a natural asbestos pocket, and use caution.
Oh wow.
I guess it can turn your hands black or some crap like that from what he was saying. I don't remember exactly, but I remember him saying something about that.
I'm
I
in a
thought-
spot on my claim where the rocks are really rusted, and they're every time you touch it and it touches the water, it's turning my hands like red. So
Does it smell like firework?
I
Crack
haven't
a
smelled-
rock. Yeah,
I
crack
haven't-
a rock and smell it.
Yeah, I haven't tried that.
Yeah, because if it has not leached all of the sulfides out, you should be able to smell a burnt bottle rocket smell there, bud.
No, really.
Yep.
Huh.
So usually if you see sulfides most of the way leached out of your quartz, you can take a rock and crack it. I mean, you'll see the yellow sulfides leaching out, right? But the quartz will be kind of clean. So any barren quartz that's showing on the outside of the veins on mountainsides will usually be pretty white because it's been bleached and everything's been washed out of it. And if there was sulfides in it, most of them have been leached out at that point. So if you take a sample from those, crack off the top area and get something below the surface to get your test from, because the top would leach a lot of material out of it. But if you can find rock that when you crack it open and it looks good, it's got all the right mineralizations, and you crack it and it smells like a darn burnt firework, sulfur smell, it's still got a lot of sulfides in it that it hasn't leached out.
Oh wow. I never knew that. I'm gonna have to try that out.
I just had some over where I did that video hole in one, man.
Yeah.
I did that. There over there, I was walking up on the freaking pile of rocks in front of where I was working, and I was manning around in there with Heath Doty, and I picked up a piece over there and cracked it, and I was like, "Oh, smell that, man!" Sent it to him. He was like, "Whoa!" He didn't never know that it smelled like that either.
No, crazy.
I learned that from Jeff Williams.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, that dude's smart as hell,
He's
man.
smart, dude. I love his stuff.
Yeah. I asked him if he would come down this way sometime, and he said if he was over in New York, he might think about it. So I told him to come up. We'll go out with family. I want to learn the mineralization better up here, and I would really love to have a real geologist here.
Yeah,
It's hard to sift through shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of it out there these days.
Yeah,
He's
there
out
is.
in California, I think, right?
406 said he farted.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
yeah, the last couple of weeks, Jeff, I don't know him well enough to know if he lives in California, but he's been out in California on the last couple of videos I saw. Jeff Williams.
Nice.
He
Smart.
406. I initially grew up coyote hunting with calls at nighttime with a big old spot lamp on the scope that you'd flip on when you're ready to take a shot. And we would have a red or green lens that would go on the spotlight, so it wasn't so attracted to the dog's eyes. But I won't go to calls after I went with hounds. Productivity and the adrenaline level from going out with a call versus going out and you've got this yoke almost landing on your lap trying to run over the top of you. It's a completely different ball game of hunting, but it's a whole entire different thing, man.
That would be wild, man.
Dude, it is the funnest thing ever. I asked my bro that does this, and I said to him, how can you hunt a dog basically with dogs if you love your dogs so much? I couldn't understand that at first until he brought me out to the properties that they go to, and they're littered with yotes. The farmers that they have permission to help clear out, to weed out the population of these, to help their herds and whatnot, and their cattle, whatever. They go out, they'll take about 50, 60 dogs a year on all these properties that he has in the area. And next year you come back out opening day and it is littered again. We've had some spots we send 6 dogs over the hill and they come back with their tails behind their legs running because there's a big enough pack down there that we didn't know. And they come tailing it back up the hill. We're like, what the heck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
They don't want nothing to do with that pack. That was a mean pack that time. But it's completely different ball game of hunting, dude.
Yeah.
Try it if you get the chance. He gave me the chance, and I completely understand where he comes from now. It is extremely fun, and it's it's rewarding to watch a young pup. When I first went, a young pup went out for the first time as well, Brody, and I got to watch that dog learn and excel in his skills. That whole year I went out and worked with all 20 plus of his dogs and got to hunt for free with him. And to watch these dogs learn and know that their genetics actually are, I mean, these guys, he uses English Walker runners. So those are actually like a fox hunting dog from overseas.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually drawn to chase a yote or a fox. That's what they were made for. And it's in their genetics. It's crazy to watch a young pup. You sit them out there with an old timer that knows what it's doing. We had Ace that year. That was before he passed away. But we had Ace. We had Brody, and we let them go together. And you know, he gave it 2 or 3 days. That boy was out there in the front chasing the yote in the lead, and he wasn't missing a beat.
Here. How's it going, Skipper? Yeah, there's a bunch of comments just going on about electric calls and what's helpful, what's not. Stacy says that they can't use hounds down in Montana. But that's funny because I have a couple buddies who are ranchers in Montana, and maybe it's because he's on private property, but he has hounds and he uses hounds for cougars. So,
I think that's different. So, cougar hunting with hounds, I think you're permitted by the state to do that, and they're not allowed to kill. They're only allowed to push the lion out of the territory. That's it.
Okay.
The Numis Maniac.
I could be wrong on the state, but I believe.
Yeah, Numis Maniac is that's Skipper. He's from up in Alberta, where I'm from.
Awesome. Hey, Skip.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
So what do you think of that gold you found off your claim, Trav?
Beautiful, nice, bright and yellow. I'm stoked to do the rest of this dirt that I brought home.
You got enough to last the winter?
Oh yeah, I brought like 15 or 25 gallon buckets home.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, I got lots.
How much of a bucket was that to get that return on it? Because that looked like it was at least 1/4 gram, maybe 1/2 gram.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Looked like it had depth.
What's that?
How many buckets did you run to get that much gold?
That was one bucket.
That's just one. That's just one bucket.
One whole bucket?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
So I got to weigh it all out, but my snuffer bottle's getting nice and heavy, which is good.
Sweet.
Not private. What do you think you get out of a 5-gallon bucket?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run the numbers here.
Doesn't gold make that cool sound, whether it's in the snuffer bottle or in your pan when you shake and you got that shaky gold in there shaking around?
Right? Yeah, that's the one. I love that sound.
Oh yeah, Ron. Ka-tink, tink, tink. Yeah, 406 said the lion dogs are different.
It says lion dogs are different. Dogs can only tree, but they can't kill them.
Yeah. You're supposed to push them out about 7 to 10 miles because a male cougar can have a zone roughly 7 miles to 10 miles they'll cover. So you got to try and push them out far enough. And they're only allowed to tree them. So if they're not out far enough, those guys have to risk getting under the tree and beat on the tree with a log or something to get it to jump. Mind you, their dogs are after the darn thing too. So they've got to try and get this cat to jump so they can push it off further and get it the heck off the property and get it out far enough.
My dad had a buddy where he would just tree him and then shoot him.
Well, if you got a season for it, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's certain states that hound hunting is illegal, but that purpose of protecting your assets or your property, or sometimes the state would call a certain guy out that is permitted to use hounds to push cats out of area. the state would call that guy under contract and have him and his dogs go out and push the darn cat, find it, and push it out of the area. But they can't keep them.
Yeah.
406 says shoot the cat with a wrist rocket and marbles. Yeah, I'm not going to be standing at the bottom of the tree with that cat up there, bud.
No, thank you.
No thanks.
So we grew up with the wrist rocket, but we didn't use marbles. We would use like a ball bearing, or even back when my uncle or grandpa's had those black powders, and they'd always have a cap and ball, or a couple of balls, whatever. But man, if you're good with a wrist rocket slingshot, if you're really good with one, they can be effective.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they're in the right spot.
Unfortunately for me as a teenager, I was most effective with them on the street lamps, but brought the police and got me in trouble.
That learned you.
It learned me.
Yeah, I've seen some of those guys running them cats and them dogs. That's crazy.
You guys, anybody going hunting this year?
If this one gets off her butt,
Hey.
we got no education time, no foot time in the woods. That she's expecting to just jump out there and get one this year. I ain't doing the work for her, bud. And I said, you want to go look, we'll go look, bud. But that requires hiking for no reason.
Well,
Well,
wow.
I don't know about deer, but definitely going to go out. I got a buddy who lives out in the country east of me with some acreage. And we'll go out there and hunt some birds and stuff, mess around, have a good time.
Nice.
I got too big a caliber to shoot small stuff right now. There won't be nothing left, guys.
Well,
My
you-
little pea shooters over here, minimum of 45 caliber.
You're down to hunting bears, huh? Big cats and bears.
I'm gonna try and get some elk. That's
What
my
squirrel?
go-to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you hit an elk, how you got a family, how much meat? I mean, how much meat you put in the freezer? That last you a few months, won't it?
Oh yeah. Elk are about 1,200 to 1,400 pounds.
Dressed out, finished, actually gonna bring home.
Yeah.
You lucky fuckers. That's a payday. You jack one of those ones.
Dude.
Yeah, they're beautiful, beautiful animals, right? So
You get a couple of those that used to feed a whole tribe. You have
yeah.
a couple of those that would feed the whole community, bud.
Yeah.
Do you have to pack it
suntan.
yourself?
What's that?
Do you pack yours yourself, multiple trips, or do you have a buddy come with you so you can?
Oh no, yeah, I have lots of buddies.
I wouldn't want to pack 900 pounds of meat out by
No,
myself.
man.
Woo!
Well, and then if you want the freaking trophy, you got to take the head with you, and that's another, 100+ pounds just in the head and shit.
Oh, absolutely. Right?
Easy.
Gold Pan's in the house. Gold Pan and Suntan. How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Man, Shannon just got back from, he lives in New Mexico, but he was out on the claim, GPAA claim with George.
Skipper says he stopped hunting, especially with his sons who kept taking advantage of his butchering skills.
I was just reading that. That's how the kids are these days, bud. They expect reward without working for it.
Right?
No shit.
Yeah. Get out
I
there.
told them
and
they
do
want
the
to get
work.
the freaking prize. They got to earn it.
Exactly, right?
When you're
Hit
hunting,
that like button if you guys can. Smash it. I'd appreciate it.
Just once. So it's
Yeah.
on.
so what do you take when you're hunting elk? You got a snowmobile or a good 4x4 quad or something you can take to haul that beast out of there?
Just a quad. Yeah. 4x4 if we can get to it, right? But
We throw a rope around it and tie and drag it out, or build a little mini sled and drag it out.
yeah, build a little sled.
Sweet.
What is that called again? Those 2-pole dragon sleds? What do you call those?
What is that?
I can't remember the damn name. You take 4 little pieces of pine and you just freaking build yourself a little dragger sled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cowboy.
It's in the
Cowboy.
shape of a triangle, basically.
You
right?
can do the triangle one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go like that and then the single spreader down on the backside.
Yeah, that's what I usually have done in the past.
I like the square design, bud, because then that way I have them next to me like a wheelbarrow behind me.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool stuff,
Skip
man.
says you haven't lived until you've had moose. Moose
I've
is
tried
really
it.
good,
Good.
except when it's not gamey.
Well, how do you eat that? Stew, steak, what?
All of it: stew, steak, jerky. Yeah,
I've never had it. I'd like to try it, man. I would.
yeah, it's good. I haven't had it for a long time.
Kind of. Is it like rattlesnake? You ever had rattlesnake?
No, I haven't had it. No.
See, that's like me not having moose. So down here, I actually ate it for the first time in the Army station in Texas. A guy from Texas, wouldn't you know, was real fucking good with rattlesnakes. We were on field duty. And he killed this bitch and cooked it up, big old fat, thick. Man, it was tender and big old chunks of meat. Tastes just like chicken.
Oh, really?
Yep, tastes just like chicken.
Wow.
I think
Yeah.
if you had a chicken doing a lobster and they made a kid that had meat, it'd be like that snake meat. You know what I mean? It was a little bit sprung, but not between fish and lobster type. I don't know, but it tastes like chicken. It was good.
Nice.
Uh,
I,
Any of you guys tried the Canadian goose?
oh, that sounds good. Woo.
They are fucking nasty son of a bitches, those things.
What?
You guys can kill those all you want.
Really?
But they're plentiful. I just eat the breastises.
Oh, yeah. Canadian geese are ignorant, man. You get close to them, they hiss at you and everything. Like,
Yeah,
they are-
they'll charge you, bud.
Oh, they'll charge you.
I've watched my brother drop a couple with a 17 HMR, and they had no heads left.
Well, yes.
That's hilarious, dude. You ever think a little 17 cal would blow their freaking heads sky high, bud? It was like, where'd it go? He come back with it. Where's its darn head, bud? He's like, dude, I shot it. It freaking came off. That was the first time I seen the little 17 in action. I was like, wow, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
So my buddy and his kid had that 17 HMR. I'm almost positive that's what they had. If memory serves me, it was a badass little fucker, man.
Yeah, it's got quite the little shell on a 17 cal with a polymer tip on them. Vermit gun.
I was
Yeah,
looking
'cause he had that and a little 22 that was a badass. I can't remember what that 22 was. It was
Dude, the
killer.
17s make a 22 look like child play. Seriously, bud. My buddy I'm telling you about that hunts those dogs, right? Everything he shoots is 17 HMR, bro. All of those
Really?
coyotes he shot with 17 HMR. Oh yeah, dude, 100 yards out sometimes.
Holy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
dude. The expansion on the projectile, that polymer tip kind of keeps its shape for a little longer out. So it has velocity moving. That's why they put that little bigger chambered casing on there.
Yeah.
It's got to have a little more, but it pushes it out a lot further, and then finally the polymer will disintegrate and it'll finally hit its target and it'll blow right open. The expansion on those things is crazy.
Skip says 50 caliber buffalo gun. And then earlier, I think 406 mentioned that he was a guide for bison hunting.
Yeah, you think he said buffalo or bison.
Yeah.
So, that sounds like you're going to be dragging like a 4570 with you or something like that, which have you ever seen those and the shells on a 4570?
Yeah, my neighbor had one. As big as my freaking thumb, dude. The shell was.
Beast,
That's not
man.
including the projectile.
Right. They're a beast.
Yeah. I want to shoot 2 shells of those off at once. I'm a sucker for pain and big explosions.
Jesus.
If I could take 2 big guns and shoot them at once, I would.
Oh, I would too, in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The bigger, the better, honestly. But I love guns, dude.
Travis
What?
just wants him to fall down faster.
What's that?
You just want him to fall down faster so you don't have to hunt him down as far.
Yeah, man, I got to walk far enough as it is.
Shannon says they were on some gold down there, half a bucket, and there was like 15 specks.
Holy.
Man, look at all this coyote hunting love up in here. Man. And they'd be
So-
talking all over the internet and stuff like it's hated. Get out
Oh, I
of
was
here.
gonna say that 17. So there's YouTube videos with some guys with that 17 nailing some coyotes. I'm pretty sure it's the one you're talking about. It's on YouTube, man. I've seen a couple of them.
Oh, we got a guy in town. He's a professional hunter.
I'll be
Arizona
right back.
actually contracts him to go down and do coyote mitigation.
Yeah.
And he I don't know what setup he has, but he can film this stuff through his scopes.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Like I say, professional hunter. I don't know if this dude posts on YouTube, but he'll show me this stuff. And this year when he went down, he actually, before he was just using a regular scoped hunting rifle, but he feels like he was not missing too many, but he was losing out on more kills because it took him so long to work the bolt to be able to hit another one. Because once you hit one, they all start scattering. So he built an AR just so he can switch targets and hit them real quick. And he was showing me some of the videos, and he showed me one he got a headshot on, and it just absolutely exploded his head or whatever. I'm like, oh, now you're just showing off. He says, no, actually, that was an accident.
Right.
But professional coyote hunter, heck of a job.
Dude, I didn't know this. Check out Culver.
I'm reading numismatic.
Yeah, so am I. A rifle range at his school. That is sick. I love that.
The church we go to is teaching the kids firearm safety.
Wow. That's
There's
awesome.
more than a few churches that still do that, but
It was founded in
22.
1822.
you got to remember, churches are basically unlawed. They can do whatever they feel like doing.
Our country was founded on religious, God-believing people.
Yeah.
That's what our Constitution was built by, and that's who founded our country. I mean, that's really the end of the scenario.
Built by religious people with freedom of religion in mind.
Correct.
Just because a person's not religious doesn't mean they're not. They're
Correct.
not.
Correct. That was the freedom aspect of being an American. You had the religious freedoms and the freedoms to choose what you wanted to be and do.
Yeah.
We had some of those freedoms until about 4 years ago, and then the liberal cocksucker got in there, and now he's getting rid of all of our guns.
But I wanted to go up there because I was actually, before all this crap happened to you guys, I was actually, a lot of Americans we were envious of the things that Canada did for you guys. You know what I mean? So like, you guys have free healthcare. Like, dude, yeah, right. Not here. Yeah, friggin' right. You guys, that was a big deal in my eyes and a lot of my family as well. Like, you guys got your healthcare taken care of by the government, mandatory, and it was taken care of.
Yeah.
But here, no way.
But it's starting to go the other way where it's getting privatized now, right? So it's not as good as everybody thinks.
No, I know. That's the sad thing is like,
yeah.
The grass is always greener on the other side. America could and should, in my opinion, have health care for everyone, available to everyone.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, but there's taxes and fees and costs that are associated with that, and it's the grass is always greener at the other side. We could look at what extra freedoms you have, or what better ways you have it up there, and you can look right down on us. We're like, man, look at all that wide open country, and you're like, man, look at that low income tax rate and tax returns.
Yeah.
People think they're overtaxed in America, but realistically, as far as westernized countries go, we have one of the lowest tax rates. The where America gets you, it's like I was talking with this broad from Germany. She came over from Germany, born in Germany. Came over with her. I was talking with her, and Germany has 18% tax on all sales to fund their health care. And she says, yeah, it's bullshit. She says, but in Germany, that 18% is already taxed on the product when you go buy it. So if you go to the store and the TV is $100, when you go to the register, it's $100. She says, so you don't feel the tax as much because if something's too expensive by just the open sight of the number, then it was too expensive. Yeah. She says, the first time I went into an American store and bought stuff, and I got up to the register and they told me told me my bill was 10% higher. She's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
They're like, sales tax. Don't you have sales tax in Germany? She says, yeah, but sales tax is added before, so we know what we're paying. And those are just things, yes, they have an 18% tax, but it also helps them to be financially mindful because the TV is going to cost $100 with tax. So if you can't afford the $100 TV, you don't buy the $100 TV, not get up to the register and, oh, now it's 110 and that kind of garbage.
Well, British Columbia's got a 12% sales tax.
Is
Right?
it added before or after the price?
Well, that's after the price. There's a federal GST that's added, and then a provincial PST that's added. In Alberta, we just have GST. We don't have PST. That's why everybody flocks to Alberta because it is cheaper, one of the cheaper provinces, right? Yeah, but it's crazy. It's just
there's pros and cons. We could compare good sides and bad sides all day long.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No matter where you go, you're going to have to make some concessions for things you want or like.
Travis, I gotta get out of here and take care of this old ass dog, brother.
Yeah, you take care, Levy. Thanks for jumping up there, Troll Sheriff. I appreciate it.
I was just going to get him on the name too. Yeah, you have a nice day there, Sheriff.
Well, I saw Head Troll and I was like, man, I'm gonna get him on this one. He's got good sense of humor. It's good to see.
I'm actually going to shut down the live too, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming
All
on.
right. Thanks for having me.
It. We'll see you all next week.
No doubt.
Later, everybody. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Stay safe and have a great weekend. Yeah, hit for sure, Stacy. Hit that link if you want. Thanks, Kip. Have a good night. See you later, Joe. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Zach. Appreciate it. And all the other panel members tonight. See you later, Swamp Dog. Later, James. Stay healthy, buddy. Hopefully that physical therapy is helping out a bit.